So friends, I'm going to take off with my third episode of some very interesting, sharp conversation. And before we start the evening, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to introduce myself. My name is Dipali Nerula, and I'm a self-growth coach and an expert in relationships. As a coach, I help people to refix their lives, achieving a permanent shift, permanent transformation of their mindsets and human behavior. And this is done through a process, through a structure. And this eventually leads you to becoming the best version of yourself. So if anybody is struggling these days with any sort of mental stresses and tensions or depressions, is welcome to get in touch with me, and I would be more than happy to help you out with your problems. So now I'm going to commence my evening, and I'm very happy with my guest today because she just doesn't seem to, she just doesn't cease in inspiring me really with her kind of clarity of thought and purpose, her discipline, her hard work, her tenacity. She is somebody who I truly label as a lady of substance. And the adage that we all know of, that attitude determines altitude, really fits in well with her. And as a coach, personally, I find her testimony very inspiring because, and that is one of the reasons why my endeavor for having started a Sharp Conversation, because I want to bring in influential people, on, conversations with me where we can, discover and discuss about how they have been able to achieve success in their lives, surging through their challenges and their breakdowns. So I'm going to be calling my guest for the evening, who I admire immensely, and she is none other than Sangeeta S. Bahl, and I'm going to bring her on in just a second. So you are going to just bear with me, and I'm going to bring her on. Sangeeta, are you there? Hey, Sangeeta.
Hey,
what a pleasure. I am so delighted to have you today with me for some very interesting conversation and wanting you to inspire people. You've always inspired me, you know it. And today I want you to inspire my viewers, really. So friends, before I ask Sangeeta about her journey of life, I want to tell you that Sangeeta is the first oldest Indian woman to summit the Mount Everest in 2018 at an age of 53. Of course, age is just a number which has been beautifully proven by her, and she made India so proud, and because of it, she is in the Limca Book of Records because of her fantabulous achievement. She scaled many other mountains and crossed the globe, which she will tell us herself. But I have to tell you that besides being a mountaineer, she is also a Miss India finalist, which you can see because she's so beautiful herself. Yes, of course. And other than that, she has, hang on, there are lots of things that Sangeeta does really. And other than that, she's an entrepreneur. She is an image and etiquette coach. And she runs a company of adventure sports called Impact Mountaineering. So she's a lady who, of course, wears multiple hats. I would love to know which is her favorite hat that she wears and which fits her well, or does she end up wearing all the hats comfortably and feel very, very good in her skin with all of them. So Sangeeta, I'm going to take on the session with you forward and begin with you. Would you like to just say anything, and then we go on to the journey of some interesting question answers?
From a very, very young age, I've learned to juggle. You've seen a juggler with a lot of balls. Uh,
Sure.
I, I'm usually on roller skates. This is what I used to be told that Sangeeta, how come you managed to do so many things all at once? I think from the very beginning, I think it started from the home where I used to see my mother multitasking. So, what you see in the house, you actually imbibe, especially from your own parents. And my mom would be prim and proper, and she would, cook up a storm, and then she would be a good hostess. She didn't really work, but this is something that I wanted to do. And so I said, if I have to add that too in my post education, then I had to juggle more, which meant that my own time management from a very young age started. And I had a small little diary which my mother showed me the other day, and it had little things like which I would want to do over the weekend after school. So I think that habit, which was inculcated at a young age, stood the test of time. That I still have a little diary. Of course, it's in a much bigger scale, and I do write my things. Uh, a couple of days or for the week, and then I'm set, and then I organize my time according to that. And you asked me what kind of hats do you wear? Actually, I have a fetish for hats, by the way. Cap, blowing, the sun hats. So the one that I take on most is anything to do with people. So my hat, which started with just the image consulting post my airline flying and stuff like that, which meant that I had worked with over 85 nationalities in the world. And when I took on
Wow.
consultancy and did image coaching, it was again with people. And of course, when the mountains started, again, I wanted to be connected to people, and my own journey, what they saw, they wanted to do the same thing. So again, it's connected with people. I'm with people. I'm a people's person. So
So tell me,
my hat
yeah.
has different kind of people from various backgrounds. Sometimes people are shocked. Acha, these people are your friends as well. Yeah, I have various kind of friends. People who are very, very young, very, very old, my age, any age, stage, you name it.
So tell me, I'm going to take you back a little bit when you were talking about your mother. You also actually belong to Jammu and Kashmir. So in many ways, you're already, from the world of mountains. So was your, your early childhood in Jammu? Just tell us something about your early days of childhood and your education, and take us through that.
Okay, so everybody knows my native place is Jammu. I was born there during the war, so I don't know, Pakistan India ki war thi, and out came me, and all a fighting spirit. And
Huh.
so I did a couple of years in Jammu, and then around 8, when I was 8 years old, and there were two other siblings of mine more younger than me. I'm the oldest. So my mom decided to send me to the boarding school in Sacred Heart Convent, Lauzi, which was her
Hmm.
maternal home as well.
Sure.
And just to have my grandparents as local guardians, she thought it was okay. But the funny thing is, I never thought that she's going to leave me here and go away. And I thought she has just come to show me the hostel, and then I'll go back with her. But I was there for 4 years, from 8 to 12. And that was the starting foundation of my independence. That was the starting foundation of my discipline from the nuns who came from Ireland and Belgium and English. And so I had to mind my P's and Q's, and the convent education writing is such as well. So I think
Sure.
we imbibed a lot of things from an early age, how to dress myself, how to make the bed. So when I would come home, I was like, everything was in order. And then I spent until the 11th. In those days, there was no 12th. So 11th was called the PUC. which
Yeah.
was pre-university. And I was in Jammu until then. And then I went back to Dalhousie to complete my convent education, which was the college. It was like 2 years to go before the college finished. And again, I was back to the nuns and the discipline. And there was a small time in between when this is what I want to say, that I recognize some things in myself with my education, which I felt were not just meant for the kitchen or becoming a hostess to entertain everybody. You know, my father was working with the army a lot. He was in the LIC. He's retired now. So I would see parties every week, and my mother was bushed, you know, cooking up a storm and things like that. But I thought if I was going to have an education, it was going to be put to some good use. So in between, for a year, I would say that as out of rebellion, I went to see my aunt in Delhi. And so this was like during the summer holidays after my 11th. And I told her that I want to do a little part-time job, because I knew Jammu wouldn't have such things. So in Delhi, she said, okay, you know, look at the newspapers and circle. In those days, no internet, nothing, no phone. So you know, bada page ab kholo, and usme you see what was needed. And in my case, I was hardly 17. And the only thing that fit the bill was that I would become a sales girl. So I did that as a part-time job, and then continued for a year because I enjoyed my independence. I remember I used to get 1,200 rupees, which was a lot at that time.
Lot of money then.
And then my aunt, my younger Marcy, she set me up in the hostel, and so I tasted my independence, but I also felt I was missing out on college. So 1 year during that time, because of the time that I had understood that, you know, don't waste time, I also enrolled in my first year of college through correspondence. So I didn't really let the year go waste. And when I went back to Dalhousie to complete my BA, I was already first year, you know, I'd completed it through correspondence, and which was hard because I would be working from 9:30 to 7:30 every day with 1 day break. So at a very young age, I got that taste. And also when I went back, of course, I didn't fit in with the girls over there, the Punjabi girls from Jalandhar and from Patiala and from Amritsar, who used to think that Sacred Heart Convent was a passport to marriage. You go and study and then you just get married off. But I had other plans. So this
So
was
tell me,
college.
yeah. So tell me, Sangeeta, in fact, I see Radhika Chopra, the renowned ghazal singer, also from your state to Jammu, saying ironically it's the same time when she came into the world. So you are like almost at the same time. She's talking about the World War also. So tell me, after college, how did Emirates happen to you? Were you in Delhi when you took on the job with Emirates?
Oh, it was, there was a lot of fill-in in between. You see, when I finished my college, and I was just waiting to get that BA with my name, the BA honors that I got, you know, the taste of independence had already been sown. I knew what it was to live on my own. And I somehow did not fit in. So what I want to say is, you can never fit in. You make your own example to the world and say, I'm different, I'm unique, and I'm not going to follow anyone. In fact, that's why I've always pioneered things, thinking that why should I follow anyone? I will take on some good things from someone, but I would make them my own. So when I came back to Delhi, I worked in the hotel industry for a little while because, you know, you need stepping stones to go here, there.
Sure.
I worked for Hyatt, and then I, you know, it was always in my mind that I have to get into the airline industry. In those days, it was such a glamorous profession, hardly any girls.
Yes.
But
Yes.
anything that my parents had said, ये नहीं करना, तो
वो
मुझे
करना था तुम्हें, वो करना था. So tell me.
What I want to fill in here is, when I came in for that 1 year to Delhi, I had already got modeling offers. So I came on the cover of Sun magazine. I don't know if you remember, एक Sun magazine इतनी बड़ी आती,
बिल्कुल होती थी, बहुत पुरानी, बहुत पॉपुलर.
उसके कवर के पेज पे भी उन्होंने मुझे डाला. And I got used to the arc light. So when I went back, the same aunt had put my form for Miss India during this time when I was in Hyatt. And
Sure.
I entered the Miss India contest. That was 85, and I had just come back from college. And of course, मुझे कुछ ज़्यादा पता नहीं था. I had come straight from the nuns and all that, जहाँ पर everything was so damn strict. And so I went in, and Mrs. Wimla Patil said, you, ऐसे करके, she got about a handful of girls who were wearing saris. And when you are young, you want to look older. So, you wear the saris and you go. And she said, you come for one training session for the ramp, and then there's the final. So there was no training as such. So we went for that session and found out that you had to just hold a sash and a little card with your number, and then you had to walk down the ramp with the music. So wo hi kiya, and of course, because I was not that confident in myself, because other girls were much smarter, poised, elegant, and all those things, like I said earlier, I wanted to learn what others were good at and then put it on myself.
And you've done that. You've done that throughout. I've seen you so closely, and I've seen you pioneering in everything possible, really, and doing it immaculately well. I was curious to know that when you flew Emirates, you were flying over the mountains. Did you ever think that there would be a time when you would actually start climbing the mountains? So who really was your inspiration? Because I know that, Ankur is, your husband is also Mountaineer. He's also summited the Mount Everest, I think, in 2016. So was Ankur really the point where, he became your inspiration to make this dramatic switch, and you decided to take over the role of being a mountaineer and made that your purpose and your mission in life? Because it really wasn't a very easy mission at that age, for sure. So tell us about that.
Just to fill in a line or two about what happened after the airline industry, I got into various airlines. I worked at the ground, I worked at the airport, and then got into flying. My flying started with Royal Jordanian and then moved to Emirates. So I left Emirates after 12 years of flying with them, and during which time, I got connected back with Ankur. But yeah, I remember going on this flight, and in those days there were hardly any restrictions or security. You could go in and out of the cockpit and I was a purser. So I remember the captain telling me very candidly, वो सबसे बड़ा mountain है, Mount Everest यहाँ से नहीं दिखेगा, but that's the highest. But I heard it from one ear, took it out from the other, ठीक है बड़ा, but nothing like that. Then I got married after leaving Emirates, and Ankur is about 4 years older than me, and he had this on his bucket list, and he has always been trekking and not really climbing. And his younger brother also wanted to go with him to tick off his bucket list to climb Kilimanjaro. That was the mountain that he wanted to go, and that also came from because he was a geography student. So वो नहीं किया. Anuj did not go. He lives in the UK. He's a surgeon. And so Ankur, just like that, he said to me, I have to go, and would you like to come? This is like a world famous story now. He asked me that question and I said yes, and my life changed. I said yes, but that's how I am. If there is something new, exciting, I want to try it. If it doesn't work, I'll leave it. But if it works, then I'll continue, put 200%, and then just go for it. So it started with that. And I had no background in trekking also. मैं तो gym भी नहीं गई थी.
So how much time did you take for your first climb? And then after that, then I'm sure the bug bit you, and then you started, sorry?
We joined the gym. And we trained 4.5 months before we climbed Kilimanjaro and we summited. But when we came back, we felt ये तो बहुत मतलब इतना मुश्किल नहीं लगा हमें, क्योंकि we had trained really well. We had trained with this passionate feeling of, because we are both travelers, he used to sail on the ship as a captain. So we had seen the world, and here there was something, there was a personal challenge. So we said, agar humne ye kar liya, to we need to do something more. And then the quest for the 7 summits.
Sangeeta, can you hear me? Yeah, I think I lost you for a minute. Yeah, I think I lost you for a second, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think there is some signal issue because, yeah. Hello, Sangeeta, are you there? Yeah,
I can see you.
better. Yeah, okay. So now tell me something, Sangeeta, that once you went with your first experience with Ankur, did you suddenly felt that, like you said, it wasn't so tough. So did it occur to you at that point in time that I have to summit the other, the popular, summits across the continents? Or was it your after how do you pronounce that? Kilimanjaro, right?
Yeah, Kilimanjaro.
So
Yeah.
was it after that immediately you thought of Mount Everest, or did you scale some other mountains before that and then decided to go for Mount Everest?
So, Dipali, it was like doing a graduation degree and then doing a MBA in mountaineering. Had to have much more grit, and we had to push ourselves more. Ek to hamari age, we were much older. So even in the so the idea to do the 7 summits came after ye ho sakta hai, this is possible. And we used to go for weekend trips. We used to go and climb in Ladakh. We used to go to Kashmir. We used to go to Dalhousie, where we have a house. Gym 5 days a week or 4 days a week to the gym, and 2 days outside, because anything that you had to do had to be done according to the mountain we were climbing, and it was a gradual process. I knew eventually I had to prepare myself for Everest because it was part of the 7 summits. But immediately Everest nahi aap chadh sakte because the altitude is so high, the technicality is much more, the cost is a lot, and we have been funding, except for the last time, 2 years where I started getting sponsorships. But everything had to be planned. And then 2 of us doing it, there were so many things that had to be juggled. So he would basically book the trips and I would match my clothes, because being an image consultant, I wanted pink ke saath pink and green ke saath whatever. And of course, train. Without training, this would not have happened.
So before Mount Everest and after Kilimanjaro, which were the other summits that you did?
So after Kilimanjaro, we went and climbed Mount Elbrus in Russia, which is the highest in Europe. Then we went and climbed Vinson in Antarctica, which was the highest in Antarctica, the frozen continent. And we became the 3rd and 4th Indians to do so. That was something else. It was so beautiful. And on the 4th mountain, which we went together, because we were going everywhere together, on the 4th mountain, Ankur summited, but I got injured very badly. I had to have a knee operation when I came back. But what I want to say is, when a passion like mountaineering and seeing things where your own personal challenge is forefront, you will give anything that you've got, since you've got there and you have prepared. So you have to persevere and never give up till you get it. And so when I came from Denali, my 4th mountain, where my knee was so badly injured with my meniscus and my ACL torn, I was, for a teeny weeny bit, I was in depression, thinking, ab to mera khatam ho gaya, what am I going to do? Ankur has summited aur main piche reh gayi, like that. But another thing is, with Ankur, I always say कि जो तुम करोगे मैं वही करूँगी. So I've been like that. So I accepted him कि जो वही करूँगी.
So was there any time, was there any time that you actually felt a little shaken and you kind of felt that I don't think I can go for the Mount Everest expedition and felt a little unnerved about it? Was there ever any time because of this sort of a fear? No, it didn't.
I think for anything, even in the flying industry where I've been there for 15 years, I've had so many emergencies, give birth. A woman had given birth. We had delivered a baby on board, had two emergencies where we had to evacuate the passengers. I've always stayed calm. This is one thing.
Sure.
It never shows that I'm in panic. So I've handled everything with calmness. And of course, Everest has been a series of climbs, and it's not just the 7 summits that we were angling at. I climbed so many 6,000 meter peaks in Nepal, then went to Ladakh, Manali area, Himachal. So, you know, it was just a good feeling. You wear your mask to, you know.
So you went to scale the Mount Everest in 2017, Sangeeta. Your net, I think, yeah. So you went in 2017, and unfortunately you fell sick and you had to be evacuated. Yeah. Tell us something about that, because you had almost reached the Everest, but because of your sickness, you were brought back. Tell us about that.
So 17, in fact, 2016, say, once Ankur had summited, the focus was me that 17, I'm going to Everest. So every planned, and I went with the same people that he had gone with, and everything seemed to be fine. But you know, the one thing that on a mountain which is huge and majestic, for 2 months to have people who did not speak my language. I was with another nationality, was with the US. I used to feel that I should have been with people जिनके साथ मैं at least हिंदी तो बोल लेती. 2 महीने मेरे लिए मुश्किल था. But anyway, I stuck it out for 51 days, and then I really got sick. I mean, you know, it was beyond my control. But like,
Sangeeta, your signals, I think your signal is a bit weak. Are you having some signal issues? I can see the net buffering. Can you hear me? There is some signal issue happening. There is some
biggest learnings.
Sangeeta, I'm going to interject here. Your signals are a bit weak.
I don't know why it's like that.
Is my signal okay here? Sangeeta, you have to just figure out wherever you are sitting, just ensure your signals are okay. Because it is, my signals here are fine.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Try this. Just give me a sec. Just a second.
Yes.
Let me see.
Yeah.
You seem to be in a dark area because, yes. Yes, I hope it's going to be fine now. So tell me that, no, I think it's again going to go. Sangeeta, there are some signal issues at your end. Yeah. I hope it's going to be fine. Yeah. So once you were evacuated in 2017, how did you, I mean, how dejected were you, or did your resolve to go back became that much stronger that you were determined that I have to now for sure, because you have that mindset, I know it for sure, that nothing can deter you really. So when did you decide that I'm going to now go back the next year itself?
You know, 17, when I came back rejected, कि ये कैसे हो गया? How did this happen? And it's always been the case whether I'm whenever I faced a setback, I don't stay in the same place for a long time. I will.
Sangeeta, signals are bad.
Okay.
You are continuously going because of bad signals. So you just have to ensure that your area is conducive with some good signals. Now you're back. Carry on.
So I said, I was doubly determined. Once I went back, came back to India from Nepal, and I was there and I was not there. So I came back and I said, "ठीक है, whatever's happened, रात गई, बात गई, that's how I am. I don't stay in the same place for a long time. I always manage to get up quickly. It's like I know if I've hit rock bottom, I will always jump back. There's no further, And when I came back, I said to myself, now I am going to train myself so hard. And I went into meditation. I went a lot of spirituality, which made me calmer inside. It expanded my lungs, my oxygen. I simulated various kind of things which would prepare me for the task in 18. So I was in a very, very happy state of mind for 1 year before I actually went back to Everest. I learned that I needed to work on my upper body more because I used to face that in 2017. So when I went in 18, I was like prepared, it's like exam, and then feeling, I know it, I'm comfortable. So I was very comfortable, and I chose my own people that I wanted to go with.
And I remember I remember you undertaking such rigorous training, seeing you climb about 30 floors of a building in Gurgaon with your heavy backpack. Then I remember seeing your videos where you had the same backpack, heavy, large-sized backpack with the truck tires being lugged by you on the Gurgaon-Faridabad road, and then doing some crazy sessions at the gym. I mean, my jaw used to drop when I used to see you training for your expedition to the Everest, and it was truly inspiring. Tell us about some sort of a routine that you maintained for your climb, and you took a lot of it on yourself. You cut away from a lot of your commitments, and you were very, very focused, I remember. So talk about that, Sangeeta.
So I want to tell everybody here is that one of the most important things, if you have a goal, and your goal has to be larger than life. So if you have a goal, you have to have complete focus. मतलब वो हटना नहीं चाहिए. Like, you see in Mahabharata, they show that fish moving and the sky only just hits at the eye. So you can't move your eye from your focus. Come what
right.
I lost a lot of friends, so I thought they were friends, because I would not go for parties. I was bent upon getting up early in the morning. I would get up, and let me tell you that the habit is still with me. I still wake up in the morning, irrespective of lockdown, anything. I'm still up in the morning and doing my bit of exercise. And every time I take on new challenges. So when I started preparing for these mountains, and like I said, it was a step-by-step process. You can't just suddenly go and climb Everest. You have to see how your body is at altitude. So yeah,
Sure.
in Gurgaon, I would sometimes put out a post and say, "यहाँ पे कौन सी बड़ी building है सबसे बड़ी? Please get in touch with me because I want to come and climb." And there's a funny joke that one of the ladies whose building I went, and उसको समझ नहीं था कि that she wants to climb inside. So she came to me and she said, "Security को हमने पूछ तो लिया है, but वो कह रहे हैं आप बाहर से आओगे." So all kind of funny things have happened. And then if I would push myself to climb the stairs, if I would decide कि आज 30 floors मुझे 3 times up and down करना है, then I would come down and I said, let me just do it one more. So I pushed myself so that I was doubly prepared. मैं बहुत थक जाती थी. I used to be so tired. I used to say, at least I've done it. So, I gave myself more motivation that अब मैं जब 5 feet चढ़ना है, so I need to be.
Your signal is again, yeah. I think you'll have to just hold the phone in a way that the signals don't interrupt the session. There is signal problem happening at your end. I think you'll have to just freeze to just keep your phone wherever it is when it's catching the signal. Tell me.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Stairs climbing, and then the weight training, which I do till today. The weight training started. I took on a trainer who would explain to me that for this mountain you need to do this. For this, it had to be particular to the mountain that I was climbing, and of course, cardio fit. You had to be cardio fit to be able to sustain hours and hours of endurance and challenge all the time. That's.
I remember, Sangeeta, whenever I spoke to you during your training period, I mean, I remember I used to marvel at the fact that how, you see, it is only with that kind of focus and determination and clarity of achieving your purpose and the perseverance that, somebody can do what you have done really. And it was unshakable. I used to really wonder about this very innate quality of yours, It always amazed me that how you were so focused at what you were doing and nothing could shake you off it, And so that's a quality I want you to just very briefly talk about for the viewers, that how important it is to have such strong traits in you to be able to achieve anything in life when you set your mind on it, even if it means climbing the Mount Everest at the age of 53.
Dipali, the thing over here is that you have to take control of your mind. Your mind has
Absolutely.
to be stronger than your emotions. Even in Everest, to sustain 2 months, it requires your mind to be totally focused on ye karna hi hai, thakna nahi hai. Every day you have to be happy about things. And so your mind is the main thing. And how do you train your mind? You train your mind by doing small little things first. When you do small little things, you accomplish it. Like I said, if I would climb the stairs, I would say, let me do just one more. So even in exercise, even till today, if I'm doing 3 sets of weight training, I will push myself and say, agar 15 baar karna hai, to let me do 20 times and see how I am.
Sure.
And
Sure.
Of course, Ankur is a very good, he's a good inspiration because fitness wise, physically, he's much stronger than me. But I always tell him, देखो तुमने Everest चढ़ा है, मैंने भी चढ़ लिया. So whether I'm ज़्यादा strong. What I want to say is that your mind has to be, goal never should be और उसको लिख दो कहीं somewhere.
It's unfortunate the signals are going off.
Yeah, 1 second.
The signals are becoming an impediment in anything that you are saying, really, and you're giving across such an important message. Yeah. It truly is all about our beliefs and the mindset. So carry on.
So the self-belief in myself from a young age has been there. And there is something that I want to achieve. I will get after it. I mean, I will get after it like how? This. 1 second.
Whichever is the best corner in the house where you get the signals. Yeah. You just have to.
I'm not even moving. Okay.
Yeah. So we were at your the determination and the focus and the self-belief and the mindset. Yeah.
So when I was going to Everest, 17 to 18, I had these little stickies written on it on every positive. It was written on the things that I should not eat. For instance, if there
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but it's just going and coming. Yeah.
Prior to that,
Somebody wants to know that you please. Yeah. Somebody is requesting you to repeat. Somebody is requesting you to repeat about the small things that led you to your larger goal, the small things that you probably were doing as a part of your routine and your discipline. It's unfortunate that the signal is coming and going and, the conversation is not being that smooth.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Can you?
Sangeeta, I think the signal is creating too much of a problem.
Hear me, Dipali?
It's buffering. Yeah.
Just 1 second.
Okay, go on.
Can you hear me
now?
now?
Go on. Go on. I'm waiting to hear from you.
Okay. So these were which said that I will summit.
Yeah.
And those things, some of them are still with me, but it was something that I wrote as my own affirmations. My own affirmations about what is possible. And
correct.
Make like a board where you write to achieve. And it's like a board. You put all kind of pictures related to that. So when I was writing, when I was going to Everest, I would put the mountains there. I would put the gear pictures. I would put the pictures of food that I like to eat. It was a constant reminder that I need to do all that to gain my strength. And like I said, I used to have these things on the fridge as well, not to eat and what to eat. And so irrespective, if it was not sacrifice, Everest would not have happened. You have to
So, Sangeeta,
sacrifice a lot.
I'm going to hasten the process because time is running out and Instagram only gives you an hour and then it just snaps. Tell me that, what was that feeling when you reached the Everest, the peak, and you were able to plant the Indian flag? Relive that moment for us.
Um, reached the top of Everest, first feeling was that I was an Indian and needed to have the Indian flag there. I sang the Jana Gana Mana on the top, and surprisingly, I remembered all the words, but I could recite the whole thing. I was full of emotion. I was with emotion, and I was full of gratitude. And I also felt very small. I felt I was like nothing, that God's so great. And I felt so happy that I was among the privileged few in the world that are standing on top of the peak. And since that time, many things have happened to me within. Important because I saw death at close quarters. I went in one of my rotations. I fell into a crevice as well, and it was hundreds and thousands of feet below. So life is important. And in the isolation of climbing mountains, I have learned so much about myself. I've learned to go inside the ICU, always trying to correct myself, stay aware, be mindful, and try and hurt nobody. Which is why I also became a vegan after Mount Everest, because the compassion that came from within me was far more that I had ever experienced. I'm always a kind person and always thought of giving to others. But now I know the society. From within me, I feel there is a lot that I can share. There's a lot I can give. And I don't want anything back. I don't want anything back.
Sure. So tell me something, we all know that, it's a popular belief when they say that behind every man there is a successful woman. But in your case, when you're married, it is so important to have the support of your husband and your children. So tell me how was Ankur's support all through this journey of yours, and also Arnav, of course now Arnav is in the hostel. But when you started your process, he was a young child. So what has been the kind of support that you got from them?
My biggest support system for Arnav was my in-laws, who used to look after him. He wasn't in the hostel then. It was much in Everest that he was in the boarding. But one thing that I've always believed in is that the communication that you have with your family should be very, very open. So I would talk to Arnav. I'm talking to him. The mother, I used to feel leaving him here. Mujhe agar kuch ho gaya to kya hoga? So I used to set his mind at ease that if Mama is going, she's never going to take a risk which is going to take her life. It's going to be a safe climber. I used to always tell him. So he was reassured that Mama will not do anything where she will jeopardize her life. And as far as the support go, yes, Ankur has been the greatest support financially, emotionally. He's been holding the fort while I've been climbing. I didn't really have to worry about anything that was happening here. And since both of us have had the same passion, it was easy to understand each other. So this has been huge in our case. It's been
I have only about 8 minutes left, Sangeeta. I want you to tell me, what is the kind of legacy that you really want to leave behind, and what would you want to say to women? How do you want to make it aspirational for them quickly?
Okay.
I'm again losing you. Yeah.
So quickly, I'll say that for men and women both, why only women? See, a deterrent to your dreams. You should never say,
Sure.
Self-talk, what you say to yourself inside, most important. What you say to yourself, you'll bring it outside. So what
Absolutely.
you think, you will put it to action. Yeah. So I would say that find your unique passion that you have and work on that. Don't be a copycat. Don't follow people. Set a trail, set trend. Don't worry about what others will say. लोग क्या कहेंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Because तो कहना ही है, वैसे भी कहना है, right? And what I want to say is that clarity of mind comes in the nature. So go out, head to the nature once this COVID is out or something. And even if you're here at home today, sit by the plants, start doing gardening. Anything to do with green thumbs will help you refresh your mind. The other thing that I say is that for focusing, write down your dreams and make short-term goals. Don't make very, very long-term goals which you cannot follow. And those weekly goals, see where you fare. You're going to fall, you're going to get up. But once you get up, you go and do it again. And the other thing is the routine thing people give up is because they say, oh, I don't feel like doing this. But it's the routine which will make your habit strong. So just show up for something that you have to do.
Consistency.
And, the other thing that I would say is that read important. Once you read, you're able to know so many things, and it's like it's a new world that opens up there. And spend less time on the...
Sangeeta, quickly, there is somebody called Muni Ramayan who wants me to tell you that he is there, or she, I don't know. And okay. Yeah, and also quickly, because I think I need to do another session with you, but before we wind up, 5 of your key takeaways of your life, your mantras, your philosophy that you want to share with people.
5 mantras. Number 1 is follow your passion, whatever it is. Follow it. It can become your business. My passion in mountaineering became my business. Now I run a mountaineering company. Second, wake up early in the morning. Your body is supposed to wake up in the morning. What you can achieve in the morning, you can't achieve at night. Your body is tired at that time. Number 3, exercise. You must exercise for your body to be able to sustain a lot of things. You'll be able to do so much more. I've taken up a 100-day challenge at the moment where I'm running every day, and I'm not even a runner, but it's a personal challenge. Number 4 is mix with people who know more than you.
Sure.
Don't mix with people who know less than you. And number 5,
sure.
Never ever give up your dreams. Keep going.
Sure.
Keep going.
Sure.
Keep going till you get it.
Wonderful, Sangeeta. I mean, I have so many more things I wanted to know. I wanted to get into some more detailing of your climb and a lot of other aspects of it. But unfortunately, a lot of time is gone in terms of the signal issue. And also we find that Instagram now is putting an embargo. The moment it's about an hour gone, and that's it, it gets snapped. So we are close to that now. We'll do a part 2, and then, talk about a lot more. But I have to tell you that, you are so hugely inspirational. I have never been able to understand where you get this sort of an innate quality of such strength. And it is, at the end of the day, all about our mental strength. You see, how to achieve it. We all know it, but it's all about achieving it. And you are one of those who has achieved it and proven it time and again. all I can say is that I'm going to wish you success and happiness always. Just keep surging ahead, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure you have a plan to announce once the lockdown is over and things open up and you're able to, take your purpose and your mission forward. So all the very best, and I hope to see you. I hope to catch you personally myself once we are able to, come out of this and it becomes a little bit more easy for us to meet up. Yeah?
Thank you, Pali, so much. And my last word to everybody is do everything with enthusiasm. Khushi se karo sab cheezein.
Sure. So thank you very much, Virat, and I will catch you soon.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm going to quickly say thank you to all my viewers for, coming in and logging in and giving your time during this busy time when people are genuinely very busy at home with so many things happening, whether personal or professional. So taking out time and joining you at a particular time is not so simple. So thank you very much, and keep coming again. Keep a watch out on my future announcements of getting other personalities on board. So thank you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Sangeeta. Thank you.